All right. Give this a moment for everybody to get settled in here. I know there's like a commercial in the beginning. So, all right. Can you guys hear me all right? If you can, just let me know. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right. Awesome. How is everybody doing? I hope you had a really good weekend. I don't know if you can hear in the background. Miss Hella is tearing it up. I don't know what she's tearing up. It's probably one of her new chew toys and stuff like that. So, yeah. Okay. So, all right. I have to explain where I have. Obviously, none of you guys have any idea because that was the whole idea of it. I've been out of town for a couple days. Okay. So, I spent a couple of days down at a friend of mine's bug out retreat in an undisclosed location. And it was really, really enjoyable. It was a nice get together. I would love to, first of all, I want to thank Eric and Cody for having myself and my sister down. My sister Becky went with me, and we had a really, really nice time. It was nice to get away and just, when you get together with good people and you hang out and you enjoy time together and you do things together, it's a really, really cool thing. So that part was really, really enjoyable too. And, so they were just absolutely fantastic hosts. So thank you guys so much for doing that. And so I get there, and I got to tell you this too, right? So I get there, and Eric says, well, my wife got a bunch of stuff for Hella. And so here's this box, and there's also a big bed for her to sleep on. I mean, she absolutely went all out. And I spoke with Sarah today, and I thanked her. It was very, very kind of her to think of the puppy. And so anyway, but got back home today, probably 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I was absolutely wiped out. I just literally, I just got up at 7 o'clock from a 3-hour nap, which was much needed. Because if you're away from home, you don't sleep like you do in your own bed. It's just nothing like your own bed. So anyway, we had a fantastic time. I will tomorrow. You're going to see 2 videos tomorrow of showing Eric's bug out retreat, and I hope you enjoy it. So, like I said, those are going to go up tomorrow. I did a couple videos when I was down there. Beautiful property, beautiful location. He has had this property for 32 years. So just kind of give you an idea, okay? And everything that they have done on this property, they've done it themselves. So it's amazing. And he said to me, so I just want to talk about this just for a minute, and then we'll get into other things, I promise. So he says to me, so what do after he gives me the grand tour, he says, so what do you think? I says, you know what I see? And he goes, what's that? I said, I see a lot of sweat, blood, and tears going into this property. I see a lot of hard work. Anybody that has done things to make your place better, you're working on stuff, you realize really, really quickly, it's a lot of work. So it was wonderful. It was nice to get away. And like I said, we just had a really fantastic time. So once again, Eric and Cody, thank you for having us down. It was fantastic. Met a lot of really, really cool people, and that was very, very cool as well. So really, really enjoyable time. So anyway, now we'll go into the normal stuff. I want to remind everybody that, again, if there's any interruptions in the stream tonight, that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So definitely pay attention to that. You never know with YouTube what's going to happen. So let's hope we have no interruptions, and we have a good stream and have a good, get together here tonight. Anyway, also, I want to remind people that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel, so please be decent in the chat. No racism or anything else. Hey, Norman Becker. Hey, PN1, much love from Kentucky. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much for the donation as well, and thank you for saying that. Yeah, you know what? It's people really... okay, so I want to really bring this up in the beginning of this. And like I said, we're going to talk about, I got a couple different things that I definitely want to talk about. I want to bring up a few different things. And then it's just basically, we're going to talk about whatever we feel like talking about tonight. when I bring up the things at the end of my videos and I say that we're all in this together, I think a lot of people really do lose sight of that, because it's like everybody is so focused, a lot of people, okay, strictly on themselves, their own needs. They don't care about anybody else. And I'm not saying you guys on here. That's not what I'm saying, okay? But I'm just saying people in general. They're so focused on their own immediate needs and wants, let's be honest, that they don't think beyond that. I had somebody made a statement in a comment. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about too is going to be based off some comments, because I like to always bring them up, because I don't always get a chance to. I mean, I get a chance. I sit down and I look at stuff, but I don't always get a chance to reply. And somebody had said, "Well, if you already had more, toilet paper and paper products than you need, isn't getting more hoarding?" And I don't believe that it is. And the reason why is because, again, I'm not just thinking of myself. I'm not just thinking of my mom and my sister. I'm not just thinking of Margie, the different people in my group. Okay. I'm not just thinking of them. I'm thinking of the fact that if we have an extended SHTF situation, and I have talked about this before, guys, and I think this is really important to pay attention to, you are going to have what you have. So an emergency situation could be a week. It could be 2 weeks. It could be a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It could be 6 months. There is no guarantee. There's nothing written down that says, okay, well, this next emergency is going to last XYZ length of time. If you have an emergency that lasts 6 months and some major thing happens and they're basically saying to you, in an emergency broadcast or whatever, that, things are going to be like a nightmare for the next 6 months, are you ready for that? So those are the things that people don't think about when they make statements like that, because I think that it's really, I think that it's important to, like I said, I always say prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And I have also the philosophy is I don't have a whole lot of faith in mankind, because we're evil to each other, unfortunately. Now, there's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of kind people. And I have to think in my heart that there's more good people than bad people. I really do. I really think that there are, okay? And kids, I don't care who they're being raised by. Little kids are innocent. They're taught how to be little evil monsters. A lot of them are, okay? So I think that it's really important that we try to think of others other than just ourselves when it comes to prepping and stuff like that as well. Hey, RC Kev. Is there a store stocked when you go? It's not hoarding. Yeah. Well, first of all, they're putting stuff out there all the time. Okay. Because I have the money to buy a 30-pack roll of toilet paper. Again, to thinking ahead, planning ahead. Again, how is that hoarding? I'm like, again, I'm not just thinking of myself. Now, if I lived up here completely by myself, and let's say I had 500 rolls of toilet paper, and I'm exaggerating, but if I have 500 rolls of toilet paper and it's just me, that's hoarding, okay? Because I probably wouldn't use 500 rolls of toilet paper in the rest of my life, okay? So that's a different scenario. Hey, Asif, hoarding is stocking up with the intent to sell it later on for money. Exactly. And that's another thing too. A lot of people do that. They will buy up a whole bunch of, if you guys remember the whole hand sanitizer, and they had like, thank you very much for the statement, Asif, and thank you very much for the donation as well. They plan on, they buy everything and then they try to sell it for more. I'm not looking to sell anything for more. Now, somebody just made a great comment in here. If I have extra of something and you don't, but you have something that maybe that I want, that's where bartering comes in. Okay. I'm not looking to gouge anybody. That's not who I am. I'm not that person. It's not going to be like, I am the Lord of this kingdom and you will all bow down to me. That's ridiculous. Okay. Hey, RC Kev, the unprepared call us hoarders because they prepare, right? Well, and they don't prepare. Exactly. And that's the problem. And here's the other problem. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you for the donation as well. The problem with that is that people are just, they look at us as hoarders and, oh my God, those crazy preppers, right? Oh, those preppers are all crazy. A lot more people are coming around now. A lot more people are going, hey, those people aren't so crazy after all. So they're starting to stock up. But what's going to happen You're going to still have the unprepared that have done absolutely nothing. And when the time comes, they're going to look at you. They're going to look at other preppers, people that have prepared that are doing okay because we've thought ahead. And here's the biggest thing that they're not thinking about. We have sacrificed. Okay. We have taken the time and said, okay, this is what I need to do for my family, my group, and for the people that I care about and other people. They don't do anything, and now they've done nothing, and now the time comes and it's like, well, that's not fair and that's not right. Why do they have that? They're being selfish and they're awful people. No, those are the people that thought ahead, that sacrificed and prepared. While you went on vacation at Tahiti, they went ahead and were putting in something that made their home more efficient, like maybe a wood stove or something like that. And then went out and they, either bought or processed all this freaking wood. People have no idea. They have absolutely no idea what it takes, how much it takes, what it costs. And again, unless you want to be in debt up to here, you do it when you can. You sacrifice. You take, it takes time. Okay. So that's the biggest thing. But again, it's like, I believe in thinking of others. My plan is I plan ahead for, more people. I believe that I don't care what group you have, where you're at, when the time comes, I think more people will come to you looking for help. And if you can, then you should try to help them if you can. That's just my opinion on that. Okay. So, but my puppies, the older puppies, they definitely missed me today when I got back. They were all over me and the cats were all over me. So, and the weather is miserable up here tonight. It is a wet, rainy snow out right now, and the wind is blowing pretty nicely tonight, so that's fun. So it is it's interesting coming back home and being like, okay, here we go. But it was a nice recharge today of the batteries. Being gone for a couple days, it was really, really nice. The camaraderie, the brotherhood of like-minded people, talking with people and sharing ideas and those type of things. I think that's a lot of fun. Guys, we're at 967 in the chat. We're at 337 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you to shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel if you have not done so yet. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. And also, it really does help with the algorithm. So more interaction that we have, the better it's going to be. And so definitely do it for that reason as well if you would. And again, thank you. And of course, the third reason is I like to see a nice number of thumbs up. I'm not going to ever lie about that. I think it's kind of cool to see a big number. We hit 1,100 thumbs up in the last stream. So, we'll see how we do tonight. But so thank you for that reason. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask that you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for doing that as well. All right. So a couple things like in the comments. I wanted to address, I want to talk about the gray water system just for a moment. I know you guys have been seeing videos and nothing but the gray water system, but I really wanted to show what's involved in that, what it takes, how much work it is. I actually had somebody in the comments, had to be a troll, somebody I'd never heard of before. And I did go ahead and block them, but I did leave their couple of comments up. And they were talking about, why didn't, you're lazy. Why didn't you do this work yourself? I mean, that's how ridiculous some people are. That is absolutely how ridiculous some people are. When you have a job like that, you leave it to people that know what they're doing. Okay. I don't have a big old backhoe. And if I had a big old backhoe, I would not be able to dig a hole like that the right way, making sure everything was squared away. And I'm not trying to feed into any kind of trollish stuff, but I'm just saying it amazes me realistically, the ignorance of some people. Some people are very, very ignorant. Again, if you are a smart person and you realize that something is beyond your capabilities of doing, you hire people that know how to do it. Oh, so hold on, guys. I got to show you. There she is. And look at, both of the ears are up already now. Both of her, remember the last time you guys probably saw her, one of her ears was down. They are now both up. So she went with me as well. Hella was with us. Oh, hold on a second. Do you hear Buddy? Hella, do you hear Buddy? Hey, Red Wolves. Hey, I went to the Target store today. Oh, hold on a second. I want to make sure I read that comment. Hold on. All right. Okay. 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 Hold on. Hold on. Okay, guys, go down. All right. I went to Target store today. They were limiting toilet paper to one person per pack. I don't understand the toilet paper. Food, water is more important in an emergency. You're awesome. Yeah, food and water are the most important things. And again, thank you for the statement and thank you very much for the information and thank you for the donation as well. It amazes me people's mindsets that they're not focused on certain things. Hold on one second. I have a cat that's demanding to go out. I will be right back. Hold on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, puppies. You don't have to be right on top of me. Come on, come on. All right, let's go. All right, buddy. You go out. All right. Come on, Molly. Mom. Come on, Molly. Get in. Good girl. All right. So as you see, I got my Nighthawks shirt on. They are a band based out of DC. Awesome. I saw them play. Guys are unbelievable. They do a lot of blues. So if you ever get a chance to see the Nighthawks, they do travel a lot. Very, very good band. So anyway, all right. So anyway, so let me go back to all right. With people's mindsets when it comes to what is important when this emergency stuff is coming up and it looks, things are not looking good moving forward. I mean, we got to be honest. They're telling people obviously not to gather for Thanksgiving. Again, that's a personal choice that you have to make. Do you do as you are told and not have that gathering with family and stuff like that, or do you still have a get together with with family? So those are choices. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys what to do as far as that. That's a personal choice. If you choose not to get together, then you don't go. I'll give you a good example. Like Eric had a get together with a group of people. Okay, so I got to tell you this story first. Let me just tell you this story first. So we get there the first night, and there was just like 5 of us, and so they cooked up some steaks, and we're sitting around a table, and we're having a really nice steak dinner, and my sister. No, I'm sitting here on this end. Eric was on the other end. My sister was over here, and then other people are on the side. My sister stands up, comes over to me, and is doing this. I knew it instantly what the problem was. Okay, when you are in the medical field for any length of time, you don't even think. And here's the cool thing: you don't think, you just do. And I very calmly, I set my knife and fork down. I stood up. I literally took her, spun her around, popped her twice with the Heimlich maneuver. And I know it's not called that anymore, but to me it will always be the Heimlich maneuver. There's like some stupid lawsuit about that. But so I hit her twice with the Heimlich maneuver, pops out this, piece of meat that she was choking on. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, yeah, thank you. And I sit back down and everybody else is like, what just happened? And she said to me, we were talking about it later, and she said, she goes, when I realized that I couldn't breathe, she goes, I knew all I had to do was get to you and you would take care of it. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Obviously, as a nurse, I have been trained. I know how to do, Heimlich maneuver is not rocket science, okay? But again, you need to know what you're doing. You know how many times in my life I have used the Heimlich maneuver other than, where you practice in school and all that type of stuff? The number of times total that I have used the Heimlich maneuver in my life is 1, and it was the other day on my sister. But knowing how to do that, and just like I said, she said, I was watching you, and she goes, and you very calmly put your stuff down and you stood up and I said, yeah, because here's the thing, okay, and this is what I think a lot of people really don't understand. In a time of crisis, people are going to act differently. You have the normal everyday people, real easy to kill someone if done wrong. RV, so you're right. No, exactly. So you absolutely do need to know what you're doing. But obviously I do. So, but the thing is, it's like in a time of crisis, the way people react is not how they normally react. Everybody reacts differently to things. Okay, so I have never panicked. I've just been that type of person my whole life. I just deal with things. So certain people have that already. A lot of you guys probably watching have that already. You may know it, you may not know it. But in that crisis situation, whatever, I mean, I've rolled up on car accidents before, and I go out and I assess the situation and see what help that I can offer. Even if it's just to try to keep somebody calm until the paramedics get there. And here's the best part: when the paramedics get there, then you walk away because you've done your job. You've helped what you could help. You stabilized or kept somebody calm and don't let them panic and those type of things. But again, it's just like some people, they freak out when there's an emergency. They absolutely freak out. You can't. So I've always been just very methodical. When things happen, you deal with it, and then you just go on. Because now, okay, now the crisis is now over. Now we go on about our business. It's just, it's weird. I don't know. But anyway, it was, she was saying, I just knew I needed to get to you and I would be okay. And you know what? That's a great feeling, knowing that somebody trusts you that much that they would, rely on you they know that they can trust you that much. I think that's an awesome thing. Asif says, I still call it the Heimlich maneuver. Yeah, you know what? It to me will always be Asif. It will always be the Heimlich maneuver. That's what I grew up on. Because of some ridiculous lawsuit, they don't call it that anymore. Well, whatever. It is what it is. So, thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for backing me up there, Asif, as a doctor. That's the mindset. It's just it's. But again, with training, it's you have to just deal with things. And come on, I know I love you, and I've missed you horribly. Yes, I have, Caesar. You're a good boy. These literally, he's right here and she's laying on the floor right next to him. So I guess they miss me. So, but anyway, but again, when the time comes, and that's why I think that is so important. Hold on one second. Mountain Kayaker, 10 p.m. curfew agenda, control transport, deep state operating sinister activities after 10 question mark. You know what? I actually, I don't think that is necessarily the case. I think what it is, it's getting people used to doing as they're told. So if they can get you to comply with a curfew, comply with, doing what you're told, it's going to be easier down the road as they put in more and more restrictions against you, that you just go, okay, well, I'm going to just go along. Because a lot of people, that's what they're going to do. They're just going to go along. They're not going to make waves. I don't want to cause any trouble. I don't want anybody pointing a finger at me. I don't want to be different. So they're just going to go ahead and go along and do as they're told and not make any kind of waves whatsoever. That's the majority of people, okay? Other people are like, no. But no, I don't think it's necessarily a sinister agenda, that they're doing stuff in that time frame. Because I'm going to tell you what, you're going to have people that are going to break a curfew. There's going to be people out there, they're going to break a curfew just because they want to buck the system, just to show them, well, I'm not going to do as I'm told. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do this and that. And again, you're going to see people getting in trouble because of that. However they decide to do it, with fines, public embarrassment, or who knows what, you know what I mean? But again, it's just, those are things that, again, a lot of it is about compliance. And that's what I think a lot of people don't get. It's really, a lot of it is about compliance. So let me get back to my point, what I was talking about here. Because for once, I actually remember what I was going to be talking about. With having yourself organized and having a game plan, it's really important, I believe, to have that ahead of time, no matter whatever the emergency is. Again, we can't say definitively that this is going to be what the crisis is going to be. Because I'm going to tell you right now, even though a pandemic was on my list, I did not think that was going to be the catalyst jump off point of how everything went to total garbage. Okay. There was a lot of other things that I thought would be way more likely to happen first before a pandemic would happen. But here we are. Okay. But again, being prepared, having a game plan, then you just act. So what am I talking about there? When a situation happens, A lot of people react. Panic buying, toilet paper, paper products, whatever the case may be, rushing to the store and everybody going out and getting, everything they can at the last minute. Hurricane's coming. Holy crap, we know it's now coming directly to us, even though they've been telling us for 5 or 6 days. We're going to run out at the last minute like a chicken with our head cut off, with no organized plan, with no goal in sight, with no, locked in, okay, we have this, this, and this is what we need, and have that short list, if you will, of what you need. And if you're waiting to the last minute to get that, then that's not a good thing either, okay? But again, when you are prepared and you are ready to go, you have a short list of maybe some wants that you may want at the last minute. So then you kind of say, okay, here I am. Let me see what I need or what I want. And you can go in and take care of those small things, hopefully well ahead of time. Again, it's about that organization and being prepared and being ready. It is just so smart because, again, when that time comes, if a true major SHTF event happens, people are going to lose their minds. You do not want to be in the store. Again, let me go back to my old statement that I use quite a bit. Scared and desperate people. The most dangerous people out there are scared and desperate people. And again, parents with children that don't have enough food for, that they didn't think ahead for. Again, you got a starving child, you're going to do whatever you have to do to get that child food. I don't want to be out amongst the scared and desperate people. I want to be sitting back, hunkered down, ready to rock and roll, take care of my business, make sure the people that I give a crap about are safe, that they get to me, that we're squared away so that when they get here, they can just relax. If you have a game plan, I want you to put it like this. Here's the best way that I can describe this. Let's say you're out in, okay, I'm gonna use Rochester, New York as an example. And let's say you live up in the Adirondack Mountains. Your bug out retreat is up in the Adirondacks. You have this great place. You live there full time, and you've told your family, okay, something goes down, you get to me. I am overly prepared, and you guys will be safe, and we'll work together as a family, or friends, or whatever, whoever the case may be. I mean, I've talked to different people, and I said, listen, something goes down, you get to me, I can keep you safe. Because I know there's certain people that I can trust that will have my back, that I know that is going to be there for me. And when that time comes, we're going to work together. Yeah. Have I been the one that's done most of the prepping? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to at that point is survival. Okay. And when after survival comes thriving. So you don't want to just survive and be miserable and have life absolutely suck. I want life to be halfway pleasant, halfway decent, and thrive while I'm surviving. Having a goal and a destination in mind and knowing where to go when the time comes, I think is hugely, hugely important. And I'm going to tell you why I think that is. You're in Rochester. Things go completely crazy. The balloon has gone up. Oh my God, it's the end of the world as we know it. You have in your mind, all I got to do is get to Grandpa Charlie's house and we're good. Okay. So you have a motivation, you have a goal, you know what you need to do. And now it's executing that goal, getting to that position where you can go, where you know that you can be safe and that you can be okay. Again, the worst place, guys, to be, the worst place, and I've talked about this a lot, you do not want to be in any kind of a city setting or in the suburbia area right outside that city. The city's going to be the worst because once they implode and eat themselves in the cities, which they will do, okay, then they start coming out to suburbia. And I don't know, probably with my personal belief, within a 10-mile radius, because they're going to stay to where they know and what is comfortable to them, which is that city. Okay. A lot of people are not going to leave the city, and a lot of people are not going to be able to leave the city. So those are things to think about as well. I'm going to tell you, here's something that I have been noticing, and I've talked to a lot of people, and they've told me the same thing. A lot of properties are being bought up, country properties. Okay, this is for sale. People are getting way more than they thought they would get for it. All these homes and stuff are getting bought up by people that are realizing things aren't as copacetic as everybody seems to think that they are, or they can see the handwriting on the wall, so they're hedging their bets. They're getting out of the city. A lot of people are getting out of the city. And that's important. That's hugely important. Very, very smart to do too, by the way. If you can do it, if you can get out of Dodge, I would highly encourage you to get out of Dodge. But I'm telling you, the most important thing right now, all of you guys, prepping is hugely important. And I've talked about prepping and what we need to do and all those type of things. But the biggest thing right now is have that game plan and know what you're going to do, know where you're going to go, know that when you get to said destination, hopefully you're going to be welcomed with open arms. Okay. And those things, those are really, really important. And I don't think a lot of people think about that. See, now we have calmness because Hella's over here on this side. She worked her way crawling over the puppies and she's sleeping here. I have Pandora is sleeping right here. I got two cats on the bed and Caesar's right over there. They're fun. They're fun. Where can you email me at? preppernurse1@yahoo.com. Actually, it's down in the description. Have my website, my email, all that, all my contact information and stuff is right down in the description, so you'll see it down there. At a big number of B-52 bombers from Air Force Base scrambled to the Middle East for possible bombing of Iran. Well, I'm going to tell you what. If Trump does that opens up a whole different can of worms, and not a good can of worms. So we're going to have to see how, like I said, again, we can only control what we can control. That's all we can work on. That's all we can focus on, is controlling what we can control. And what we can control is how prepared we are for whatever happens. Food, water, medical supplies, guns and ammo, warm clothes, a way to stay warm, if you wood stove, whatever the case may be, depending on what part of the country you're in. Okay. There is a lot that goes into it, a lot of thought that needs to go into it. You have to focus on things and work on things. You really do. Guys, I see we're at 1.1600 in the chat. We're at 667 or 678 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, to please do so, to show support for the channel. And thank you very much for doing that ahead of time. I do really appreciate that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms, puts us higher up in rankings. So thumbs up or thumbs down, either one works, but I would obviously rather see you throw a thumbs up there. And thank you for doing that as well. It really helps them push you better if you have more interaction, like comments, thumbs up. It's that interaction. That's what the algorithms are looking for. So thank you for that reason. And of course, the third reason is I love seeing a lot of thumbs up. So the more thumbs up we get, the better. Last stream we did on Thursday, we had 1,100 thumbs up. So I want to see if we can beat that tonight. We should. Excuse me. We should be able to beat that tonight. Debbie O, yipes. I see headlines. Hold on a second. That Sidney Powell has been cut from the Trump campaign legal team. You know what? I did not see that, so I don't know. But that's not good. Obviously, whatever is put out by the news media is very, very jaded, very, very one-sided. Excuse me again. But it's I don't believe anything the media says. I'll be honest with you. I like to try to make my own evaluations of stuff. Like I said, we right now, with everything as far as political goes, we just need to be sitting back, waiting and seeing how it all plays out. And if like I said, I've talked about this before, if there's any kind of proof of improprieties with the election and it can be proven, then we need to move forward from that. If it is proven that everything was on the up and up, then we have to accept what was done and move on from that as well. Again, there's not much choice either way. There's not a whole lot individually that we can do. What we have control of, what we can do, is continue to prepare, continue to get ready. I look at every day as an opportunity to network, connect with like-minded people, get my house in order, get my ducks in a row. And I wanted to talk about this gray water system. And so, like, just so, like I said, I see all the comments and some of the comments, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. The county set up. Okay, so as you guys know, earlier this year, somebody blew me into the town. Okay, and so the town came out. The code enforcement guy came out, who was absolutely awesome. Great guy. Great to work with. I've had no issues with him at all, but I'm not a jerk either. Okay, so he basically said we need to do these certain things to have it so that you're compliant. So if anybody else calls into the town to complain, they can say, well, no, this guy's squared away and everything is all right. Right. So part of that is I had to put in a gray water system. Now, a gray water system, guys, is basically 80% of a septic system. So if I decided, now I use composting toilets, which is none of anybody's business how I do my, waste, but composting toilets are legal where I'm at, so I can use a composting toilet. So I'm putting in a gray water system. If I decide to upgrade to a full septic system, it's another 20% of things that need to be changed out and done, and it would be no big deal. Okay. But the county came out, the county inspector for the gray water system, and he said, this is what we need to do. So is it overkill for washing dishwater, showering, whatever the case may be, water? It is. But you have to do what you have to do where you live. You have to follow the codes. So, I mean, if you can get away without doing it, that's up to you. You take that chance. But when they catch up with you, there's that old saying, now it's time to pay the piper. But again, so I'm working with the town, doing the different things that I was like 4 different things that I had to do. Okay. Getting things lined up, doing what we had to do so we don't have any problems moving forward. So the next person that decides that I hate Prepper Nurse 1 so much, I'm going to call the town and try to cause him trouble, then I can basically laugh when he calls me and says, yep, another idiot called or tried to cause trouble, or they sent a letter and all this type of stuff. It is what it is. I could have had a huge temper tantrum and made a big deal out of it, and oh my God, poor me, and play the victim. But guess what? It is what it is. So I have to do these things. So this is something that I had to do. Okay. It doesn't do any good. So you have to play the game. Okay. So somebody had made the comment of, well, you're really not off grid because of all this control and blah, blah, blah. Well, okay. The lights go out tomorrow for all these different people. They're not going to have power. I'll still have power. I'm still going to have my well working because I have my own power system. I have my own well. I'm not hooked up to the municipalities. The only thing that I'm hooked up to is the internet. And if the lights go out tomorrow, guess what? None of us are going to have internet anyway. So, again, it's just, I don't sweat the small stuff. It is what it is. You have to deal with stuff. Okay. So with something I had to deal with, I have to put the gray water system in to be compliant with the town. So we had planned earlier this year. And here's the other thing. For the person that said, well, why didn't you do it to yourself and blah, 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 right? You have to have, what? I hear somebody. Is that Gelkamized? It is. Hold on 1 second. Thanks for the shout out the other day, brother. Eric Scott, Windslayer. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. I hope you got, hopefully you're getting those hours that you need to get to your 4,000 watch hours, and, then you can monetize, because I know that's a big thing. I mean, when I signed up originally, you got monetized right from the very beginning. Now they've changed the rules because so many different channels out there, and they make you actually work towards getting to a point where you're monetized. But so for the thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. So what happens is you have to have somebody certified by the town or the county put that gray water system in for you, because then they know, the county. And here's the other thing, that county inspector, once Bill gets everything set up and squared away and it's ready to go, he has to come back out and inspect it again. Now, if I went out here and jerry-rigged everything and did everything half-aid, if you will, that's never going to pass. So you have to have somebody that is approved to do that work. Bill is. Bill's very good at what he does. I love Bill. Bill is an awesome guy. You watch him on that excavator and or the backhoe and what he does. That's a skill and that's an art, but he's been doing that for so long. He makes it look very, very easy, you know. So that's what people don't, they don't get that, and that's just, that happens. So it's really a fallout shelter. Hey, if it had to be, that's, you know, but you know, again, you know, this is what I find interesting. I got to address this for a moment. So you have these people that come on and they make all these critical comments. And 9 times out of 10, what I do, because, you know, I want the right information, and I'm sure these people have the right information on their channel. So I go to their channel to look to see how they did their stuff, because, of course, they did it completely right and everything is wonderful. But there's no videos of that. I'm just, it's very perplexing to me. I'm like, what, you know, this doesn't make any sense. Why don't they have this great information and showing exactly how everything should be done? Because they're experts at everything and they know exactly how I should be doing what I need to do here. It's amazing. So being very, 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 very sarcastic. So, but anyway, that's, I just find that very, very interesting. Very interesting. But let's do this real quick, guys. Let's do an egg count. So while we're doing an egg count, again, I'm going to ask really quickly for another thumbs up, just to see. Let's get this over 1,000 now. We got to break 1,100 because we had a good crowd in here. We're up to, I think, 1,500 or 1,600 at one point. So again, if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate it. And also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So if you could do it for that reason as well, I would appreciate that as well. And also, again, like I said, I'd like to see a lot of thumbs up. So let's get that puppy, let's get that number jumped up really, really quickly. So, all right, let's see here. Give you guys all a moment to get your guesses up. If you had, oh, okay, so because he's got it right this time. If you had the same guess as follower of Jay with 3 eggs today, you're 100% correct. We ended up with 3 eggs today. So Mom told me that yesterday we had 0. The day before that, she said there was 4. So again, you know, a lot of you had said 3 eggs today. So a lot of you had the right guess. So I saw that. You know, I just had to pick out one of you. So I saw follower of Jay had it. So I said, all right, we'll give follower of Jay the old the victory lap today. But yeah, you know, move my, well, it's hard. I can't bring it closer because I have a bed in the way. If I don't have, I'm not at a table. My laptop is sitting on the bed. So so that's why I lean in. So, but anyway, winner, winner, chicken dinner, right? And guess what he wins? Nothing. Congratulations. But anyway, guys, you know, like I said, with everything that's going on, there's so many distractions out there, so many things to make people nervous. There's a lot of people are on edge, obviously, a lot of people on edge. And again, what can we control as individuals? Every day that we get is a bonus, again, like I said, to get things that you need. Do an evaluation. That would be the number one. Do your evaluation. Where am I at? What do I got? What do I need? What do I need to do? Okay. And just try to do those different things that you can do. You know, that's always, that's the best way to do it, because you just, like I said, again, you just don't know what's going to happen. And the more prepared you are, the better advantage that you give yourself. Why would you not do that? It's just like, are you going to, okay, so we'll put it in this way. People play the lottery every day, right? They're like, the percentage of winning the lottery is like ridiculously astronomical. The chances of winning are so slim. But do you still play? Do you still, when it says the jackpot Powerball number is $200 million, you go, hey, I'll throw $4 on that. Why not, right? You're hedging your bets, because if you don't play, guess what? You're not winning, no matter what. Guaranteed you're not winning if you don't play. But if you make that little minor bet, there's a chance you could win. Stranger things have happened, right? It's the same thing with prepping. You're hedging your bets. You're thinking ahead. You're putting yourself in a position. But now this is not a game of chance at this point. This is your life or death. And that's what it's about. And I think a lot of people really don't have that concept. They don't think about that. These are dire consequences. These are your children, your grandchildren, that you need to be thinking about as the adult, as the head of the household, be it female or male. That's who needs to be thinking about these things and being prepared for that. Because I'm going to tell you what, prepping, I've been called crazy. I couldn't even tell you how long. Ridiculous amounts of time. People say, oh, well, you're nuts. You're prepping. That's crazy. But those are also the first people that say, when something happens, I know where I'm going. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're not. No, you know. But if you're prepared and you're ready, it puts you in such an advantage over so many people in this country. It is unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you what, my main goal from the very beginning of getting into prepping is making sure my children survive. My children were number one priority to me, always have been, always will be. All right. As my children become adults, well, they're young adults right now, but as they continue to go on with their life, if they decide to have children, get married, have children, then it's going to be that much more. So I will continue to do what I do, and that's what it's all about. And thinking ahead. And what we got to think about too, a lot of us that are preppers, a lot of us are older. A lot of us are not 25, 30 years old. A lot of preppers, and I'm sure a lot of I look at the demographics of the people that watch my channel. The biggest demographic of people that watches my channel is about 44 or older. That's the biggest demographic. As those senior members of our families and as the head of the families, we need to prepare to take care of the ones that didn't think ahead, that didn't think, oh my God, something might happen and I need to be ready for that. We can talk, guys, till we're blue in the face. And I think you still should try to talk to family members, because if you can have family members that wake up, that realize something because you've talked to them, and the best way to do it is point out events that are happening. Point out this, look at this, what happened? What would happen if that happened here? Are you ready for that? You put those seeds of doubt in their mind, and then maybe they might wake up and go, geez, I better do something. It takes some pressure off of you, but again, to me, it's a responsibility. That's the way I look at it. It's a responsibility. Yeah, I prep for a lot of people that do absolutely no prepping at all. But over the course of time, I look at what has happened. My mom and sister now live here at the homestead. They're here full time. Okay. That is a blessing to me, because I don't have to worry about how are Mom and Becky going to get here when that time comes. Because, Mom is 77. My sister has health issues. So, they're not going to get and strap on the old backpack and start walking 20 miles a day to get to the homestead. That's not going to happen. Okay. They'd be lucky to get 10 miles a day in if they were lucky, which would mean an extended amount of time to get to where they needed to go. So, but if they're already here, guess what? They're already here. That is a huge relief off of my mind. Again, if you have your retreat, and if you're at your retreat, you better have a game plan. You better know what you're doing. Your kids better know too. Are you coming to get them? Are they going to sit tight till you get there? Or are they going to get to where they need to go? It is better to let them come to you, because again, too many things can go wrong if you're on the road. You might miss each other on the road, whatever the case may be, or have a designated location where you say, okay, if you get to spot A, I'm going to come to spot A and I'll grab you and we'll go. You may not be able to do that. They may have to just go all the way. And I've talked about this before, and I've said to my children, I will not be coming to get you. You need to get home. And, that's a hard call. And again, that's an individual call that you have to make. But when you have responsibilities, you do what you have to do. I'm responsible for a lot more than just Becky, than Heather and Eddie. I'm responsible for a lot more than that. And there's a lot of people counting on me. So, that's what I have to think about. They get here, I know they're gonna. They have enough skills. They've been taught enough things that they can survive. They're going to do what they have to do, and they're smart enough that they'll get home. And that's what I have to count on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you.
But so it's okay, Caesar. Everything's fine. He's gonna step over. Uh, hey, Asif. My prepping was to get my bro, sis, and dad into prepping, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what? If you can wake them up and they get going, that's fantastic. Because again, it takes a lot of pressure off of you. And if they're prepping, then they're probably going to contribute to the overall good of the group, which is important. Because again, there's going to be plenty of other people, and I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you this, and it's going to be a hard call that you're going to have to be making life and death decisions at some point down the road here. Okay, you're going to have to make the hard call: is do I help this person or do I not? And think about that. Could you imagine being in that position where you're going to have to choose? If you know you turn somebody away, most likely they're going to die. Can you do that? So those are things that you need to think about. Hard question: would you take in the ex-wife in SHTF? Lori Austin asked that. That question has been asked in the past, Lori, and I will tell you this is where I said with that. When my kids were smaller, I would not turn their mother away because that is still their mother. And how could you do that to the mother of your children? Okay, now as my kids are now at adult age, Eddie's living with mom. If mom gets Eddie here safely, all right, am I going to take Eddie in and turn her away? No, that's not me. That's not who I am. Now, will she be expected to do like what everybody else does? Absolutely. Is she going to come right back in and jump in my bed? Absolutely not. No, never happening again. Okay, we're divorced for a reason. There's a whole history there, and I don't go backwards. Okay, so that's unfortunately that's in the past, and but yes, I would take care of my ex-wife because I would be thinking of my children. That's the reason that I would do it. You all can make your own decisions when it comes to something like that. That's a hard call. And it really depends, guys, with everybody, how bitter the divorce was, what the animosity is. Is there a history of abuse and violence? Obviously, if you have somebody, an ex, that was extremely violent, extremely controlling, that hurt you or the kids, no, you're not taking that person in. Okay. But again, for me, my situation, she has zero control over anything as far as what would happen. I would take her in, but that's just me. So that's what I do. Again, everybody has to make their own call, and it's an individual choice with that. But again, you know, so now my first wife, who is no longer with us, she's deceased. Her I wouldn't take in. But now when she had passed away, I hadn't seen her in like 15 years at that point. But I will tell you this. When she died, and I found out that she had died, I did feel sadness because that was somebody I had spent part of my life with. It was somebody that I had loved, that I care about at one point. It was, so that part was sad for me. But she was a very, very unhappy woman, and I don't really need to get into all that. But anyway, so it happens. And but like I said, if she had been alive and SHTF happened and she knew where I was, which she probably wouldn't, because there would be no reason for her to know where I was. Her I wouldn't have taken in. There was no connection, no kids, no nothing. So but that's how it goes. So. But anyway, that's not even a worry anymore because she is no longer with us anyway.
I'm sorry. Well, you don't have to be right where I got my feet.
She is so cute, guys. I'll tell you what. She traveled so well. She was like the most chilled out dog. And she did really, really well. So like when I told you guys before, moving forward, where I go, she goes. She's going with me all the time. Wherever I'm at, that dog is going to be with me. So GMA 13, do you have clothes on your website available? I do not yet. I had them in the past. still in the process of getting that set up. Again, there's been other things in play that I had to take care of first. But yes, I will be getting some stuff up there. Yeah, my X is an X for a reason, Father of J. Exactly. Everybody's got a story on that one. Ed, the viewers are asking for a kitten. Well, there's no kittens here. I have cats. Let's see. Hold on a second, guys. Let me go grab one of the cats. Okay, yes, I'll grab you. Because they don't get to see you, Gelko. They don't get to see you, so you come with me. Watch out. Come on, come on, come on. All right. So this one here is Mr. Gelkameister. He is one of Molly's kittens. And he's got, I'm going to show you his coloring, if you guys can see that on the back. I don't know how well you can see that. But he's got a really cool coat. His markings are unique. He's a good boy. But, so let me let him out, because that's what he was crying about, because he wanted to go outside. Do you want to go out? All right. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right. Come on. There you go. All right. All right. I get up and move around. Everybody moves around with me. So anyway, no YouTube channel is complete without cats. I have plenty of cats. I have 8 cats and now 3 dogs. So yeah, I cannot wait for the addition that will happen this spring. I need more room. Guys, everybody's got to spread out. All got to spread out. So I love my animals, though. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know of anything natural to help with hold on a second. Anything natural to help with seizures in case meds become unavailable? Gene Blair just said. There's a lot of holistic stuff out there, Gene, that you can, if you do the research, look for natural remedies for seizures. That would be my recommendation. Now, I'm not going to recommend that you stop taking any seizure medication that you have now. I'm absolutely going to tell you don't stop not taking your normal prescribed seizure medication. But you can look for alternatives in that SHTF situation, because here's the problem. When SHTF does happen, and I want you guys to think about this. Let's put this into perspective. A lot of people are on a lot of medications. A lot of medications. Once we get into an SHTF situation, you may have a 30 or a 90-day supply of things, and then they're going to run out. What are you going to do? What are you going to do in that situation? Are you going to get more animals, cows, goats, etc.? Yes, Erica D's asking that question. I plan on getting, I want to get meat rabbits. I do want to get goats. And then we're going to see where we're at that point. I definitely would like to get a hog in the spring. Not this year coming up, but in the future. Get a hog in the spring, butcher it, and then, put the meat away in my own freezer that I'm going to be building on the property as well, underground, with no electricity. That's going to be a fun project. I can't wait to do that one. So that one will be, it's on the list of a long list of many other things as well. But there are definitely plans moving forward of some really cool projects that are going to happen here. So, but anyway, again, the biggest thing, again, I'm gonna say it, and I keep saying it over and over and over again. Continue to prep, continue to get ready, get your supplies, get your canned goods, get your beans and your rice. Get your long-term food storage and all those type of things. It's really, really important. Really important. Hedge your bets. Again, it's just like the lottery. You never know when it might hit. But when something hits, it's a game changer. And you don't want that game changer to be life and death for you. You want to put yourself in a situation where you are as ready as you possibly can be. What would be a likely SHTF situation? Amanda Page just asked it. Amanda, in my opinion, and again, strictly my opinion, the most likely scenario of an SHTF event would be a grid down situation, because it's going to cause the most deaths without any foreign enemy firing a single shot at anybody in this country. We will eat ourselves alive in this country. The grid goes down for any length of time. Excuse me. That's going to be a game changer, big time game changer. And then you're going to see the true animals. I don't believe it'll be an EMP. I do not think it'll be an EMP. I think it would be a cyber attack where they would attack the grid simultaneously all over the country and drop that grid down. That would be my guess. Now, I'm speculating, but again, that is probably our Achilles heel in this country, the reliance on the grid. The reliance is so big on the grid. I'll give you a great example. Okay. So this weekend, I went away to my buddy's bug out retreat. I had no cell service, no internet access down there. I couldn't make a phone call out. I couldn't text anybody. I couldn't check messages. I couldn't go online. Nothing. Okay. Hey, James White, how do you feed animals after SHTF? Well, again, that's another thing, preparation ahead of time, planning ahead, thinking ahead, looking at those situations. How long can you feed the animals for? Do you have to cut down your flock of chickens? Do I say, SHTF happens tomorrow? I'm going to tell you what, there's a couple roosters that are going to go right off the bat. And then you got to look at your hens and say, which hens are maybe not viable anymore, and cut down your flock that way. Hopefully you have enough feed and stuff like that ahead to be able to, be prepared for that. But again, those are things that it's all about planning. So thank you very much for the question, and thank you for also the donation as well. But so anyway, again, getting back to this, so I had no way of knowing what was going on in the outside world. We had to go to the town, and I had to sit in the laundromat. I did this yesterday. I still couldn't make a phone call out because there was no access for my carrier where we were. Okay. But I was able to text, to check messages and see what was going on. So I sat in the laundromat for like 10 minutes and then went back. Hold on a second. Christy Martinez, what do you recommend for having savings in the bank? I'm prepared for about 6 months, but have some savings. Should I stock up more and use savings? Again, you know what? It's having money in the bank. If the grid goes down, you have nothing. Okay. Having supplies, having things that are tangible that you can touch, that you can put your hands on, that's a good thing. Now, obviously, we all should have a certain amount of money ahead in case of an emergency and stuff like that. I think that's important. I'm a big believer. I don't keep a lot of money in the bank. Okay. I would rather, for me personally, I would rather put my money into my property, making my property better, making it more viable, and also into supplies. But again, that's me. Everybody's different. You have to make a decision what is best for you. But I personally, my recommendation would be not to have a tremendous amount of money in the bank. If you can get some kind of a safe or a lockbox or some kind of hidden area where you could take money out and put it into that safe so you have cash on hand in case of that emergency, absolutely should have supplies. I don't know what your situation is as far as how much supplies that you have on hand already, but that's something to definitely think about and prepare for that way. All right, guys, we got 1,600 people in the chat. We're at 1,000 thumbs up. So we got to go for 1,200 at least today because we got a decent crowd. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so again to show support for the channel. And thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction we have, the better. Puts us higher up in the rankings. So thank you for that reason as well. And again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So now we've tied the other day up. We just went back. How did it go from 1.1 then back down? Anyway, there we are. We're back to 1.1. How crazy is that? So anyway, let's try to get to 1,200 at least, maybe 1,300 thumbs up today. That would be very, very cool. So thank you for that as well. Like I said, I'd like to see a lot of thumbs up as well. So again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would absolutely ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. 2 quick shout outs that I want to give for sure. Angry Prepper, go support his channel. Very, very squared away gentleman, very intelligent man. Really enjoyed doing the stream with him last week when I did it on Monday, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Or this week on Monday, but that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Go show him some support. Tell him Prepper Nurse 1 sent you over. The other channel that I always highly recommend is Marfugal News out on the West Coast. Adam and Dax taking care of things out there. Those guys are awesome. They're very, very squared away as well. A lot of interesting information coming out of their camp. So definitely show them support as well. And, again, it's like we should be all working together. It's like this individualism that we have, this mindset nowadays is the wrong way to think. Working together, helping each other, trying to do something good to make things better. I had some channels in the chat with, hold on a second. Some good channels in the chat. Prepper Nation and Pinball Preparedness. I have not seen Pinball Preparedness, so I can't. I know Prepper Nation is good as well. Yep. The Alaskan Prepper. He's a good channel. There's a lot of them. A lot of channels out there. So, I mean, I'm sure people could say, well, this channel's good and that channel's good. There's a lot of really good channels out there. There's a lot of good information. Definitely, check different guys, look at different perspectives of how people do stuff. No two homesteads are ever going to be the same. Everybody has a different vision of what they want. It always comes down to wants and needs. Okay. That's number one. I would like pinball. I'll have to check him out. Oh, hold on a second. I want to see what this person said. You ever get kicked out of bed by your animals? No, never. The Prepared Mind and Canadian Prepper. Yeah, I watch both of those guys. So I don't get as much chance to watch them as much as I wish I could. But yeah, I like the Canadian Prepper. Like I said, Canadian Prepper, the Alaskan Prepper, good channels as well. The Prepared Mind, he's interesting, has some interesting insights on stuff, and I think that's kind of neat. You look at different perspectives, get a different idea of how people do things. I think it's really, really cool. I'll have to check out his channel. I will definitely have to check out his channel. But like I said, there's so many different channels out there, guys. A lot of really good information, and I think that's a cool thing. Ice Age Farmer, yep. Let's see what Brian says that pinball is great, very wise and very humble. That's cool, and that's the whole thing, guys. Always be humble. Don't think, I had somebody like this weekend, and I think they were busting my chops a little bit, and they were like, "Oh, so you're the famous Prepper Nurse 1," and I'm like, "Listen, I'm just me, Indiana Prepper 2, do me a favor, check out Pinball after this live." Yeah, I definitely will. I will check out Pinball Prepper. I will definitely do that. So, but again, I'm just me. I happen to be driven. I happen to think about things, and I want to share things with people. I had somebody today was like, "Oh, you need to cover up your license plate, so people can't find you." Trust me. Anybody that don't like me, they already know exactly where I am. Like I said, I've been swatted once already. I've had CPS called on me twice. I had somebody blow me into the town to try to cause me trouble. That happens. And like I said, have fun, have at it. So, yeah, and here's the thing, guys. Some people are going to like certain channels and some people are not. And that's fine. Again, the beauty of YouTube, and here's the beauty of it. If you don't like the channel you're watching, go watch somebody else. That's the best part. Okay, there's channels out there that I don't care for. Now, I will never tell you who those channels are. Never tell you, because that's not me. I'm not going to try to throw anybody into the bus. Well, I don't like them because of this, or I don't like them because of that. I'm making a decision as an adult. If I don't like somebody's channel, I don't watch their channel. It's very, very simple. If more people did that, we would be in a much better place. So it amazes me. It absolutely amazes me, the mindset of people that they hate somebody so much that they will go and watch every minute of every stream or every video that they do to try to critique it and find things wrong. It's amazing to me. Hold on a second. Somebody was asking me a question here. Have you ever watched The Modern Survivalist, Fernando Farrell? He survived the collapse in Argentina. He's friends with Matt back. I have not seen his channel. No, I have not seen that. Everybody's judgmental and everybody's an expert, right? It amazes me. It really does sometimes. And again, so like I always say sarcastically, I go to their channels to look for advice, and of course, they never have any videos. They generally don't even have the stones to put up an icon picture, or if they do have an icon picture, it's not them. So, you know what? I love advice. I love it when people point out if I've done something wrong. I have no problem with that. Okay. If you said to me, Ed, like, okay, a great example is you don't see it anymore because now it's not even there anymore. But I had originally put my smaller wood right next to the house, right next to the house, and I had a circle of wood, and I had my kindling wood in the center, right, and worked really hard to get that set up like that. I had people on the channel said, Ed, don't you shouldn't have that right next to the house because of termites and everything else. They can get into the house then, right? And I thought about that and I went, oh man, they're right. So I had to go out and change that whole thing. I wasn't thinking about that. But that's a kind of advice where they, put it out there and say, hey, look at, you know, did you think about doing it this way? Or did you think about this or that? That's perfect because it makes you think. Now, what I did is I looked at that situation with that and went, they're 100% right. I changed it. I came online and said, I changed it because you guys told me that I had done this wrong. Again, I have no problem at all with constructive criticism. I've never come on here and said I'm an expert at everything. I've never said that, and I never will because I'm not. I'm not. I'm just me. I'm doing the best I can. I love advice. I think advice is great. Again, nobody knows everything, so we can all learn from each other, and that's the beauty of YouTube as well. But doing it in a way that is not hateful, that is not, trying to put somebody down or telling them that, whatever the case, you're an idiot because you did it like this. You're not going to get anything going to happen good that way. Our wood is out back, but far enough not to tempt bugs, but we rent. Okay, there, it's all right. However you have to do it is good. But like I said, thinking of different things that could happen, where, why, and how, is smart. But again, nobody can think of everything. So when somebody comes up with some advice and they say, hey, listen, have you thought about doing this? Like with the gray water system, people, well, why are you pumping it uphill? They set it up. The way that my land lays, the way that things are set up, that's the way it needed to be done. And so, with having the tank there, is literally on. It's going to be a pump. I'll plug it in. The water will go up into the leach fields and dissipate. Somebody'd ask, will that hurt the future pond? No, not at all. It's not going to be near the pond. The water coming down off the hill is going to be, there's going to be a swale up there where it's going to divert the water over to where the pond area is going to be. So that's where I want that water coming down off the hill to go that way. So that's, you have to look at the situation. You listen to people, experts that know what they're doing, and you go, okay. Like when we put in our water tank, I was originally going to put the water tank on the other side over here. And what Joel had told me at the time, that's my plumber, he had said, well, if you put the tank over here, it's closer to the wellhead, then it's less piping and all this type of stuff. Smart, right? He knows what he's talking about. Am I going to say, oh, absolutely not. I want it over here, and that's where you're going to put it. Now, a lot of people would do that. But I said, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm going to listen to him and do what he said. And that's exactly what I did. And the system's been fantastic, and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. So, again, it's always going to be something. It's always going to be something. Alaskan Granny, I have not seen that channel either. Nope, I have not seen that either. But like I said, I know that there is a lot of good channels out there. There's a lot of good people. It's about sharing information. It should be about helping people. What I always wanted to do was show people that with two kids, one of them being autistic, that, and being a single father, that I could do this and make this work. Now, one of my best friends who contributed nothing to what we did up here helping wise, he said to me, and it was not my buddy Steve, so I don't want you to think it's him. It's a buddy of mine, Randy. you know, he was busy doing his own thing, and you know, he's one of those friends that out of sight, out of mind. So, but he's a good guy. He's still a good guy. But he had told me, you know, last year we were talking, and he was like, you know, I got to tell you, man, when you moved out there and you said you were going to do that, I thought there's no way he's going to make it. But he goes, you did it. And he goes, and you've done so much, and you've done, you know, and it really looks good. And I appreciate that comment, and I appreciated what he said. But again, you have to have that mindset that this is going to work. For me, this was good. This was going to work no matter what. It was going to be hard work. It was going to have times of serious suck, which we had plenty of serious suck. Okay. But again, over time, things get better, you know, and, you know, that's how it goes. You know, I'm not a rich man. I don't have endless amounts of cash where I can just do whatever I want and just get it done. That's not how any of this is done. Anybody that's watched my channel for any length of time, and if you're new to the channel, I would absolutely encourage you to go back to the beginning of our journey here on the homestead and see where we were at and where we've come, and watch some of those videos and see what we've accomplished. I go back once in a while and I'll watch older videos and I just go, I remember that. You know, but it really makes you look at things and it gives you a different perspective. So anyway, let's do this really quickly, guys, because we're running out of time. This hour and 20 minutes goes by so fast. We are Legion. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a big family. We're a big network of people. We really, truly are. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Kentucky, Melbourne, Australia. We have Montana, East Tennessee, Denver, Colorado, Ireland, very cool. Georgia, California, Iowa, Northeast Ohio, Anderson, South Carolina, New Florence, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Maryland, Indiana, Nowhere, Oklahoma, San Antonio, or South. I missed that one. Sorry. It was in Canada though. I don't know. Buffalo, New York, Los Angeles, and California. Altoona, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Michigan, Buffalo, New York, Maryland, North Carolina, Central Florida, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Ash Fork, Arizona. Let's see, Michigan. We have Hawaii, very nice. Let's see, Montana, the UK. Las Vegas, Hollywood, Florida, Kentucky, Cape Cod, Iowa, Connecticut, Alberta in Canada, Florida, England, Oregon. We said it wrong before. Amherst, New York. We have Missouri again. We have the real Jersey Shore. There you go. Eugene, Oregon. Lima, Ohio. New Zealand. Very nice. Hopkins, New York. Let's see. We have Tennessee, Georgia again. London. Paris, Texas. Quartz, Colorado. Union City, Pennsylvania. Manchester, Connecticut. Orange County, New York. Cape Cod. Great Lakes, New York, Texas, Holly, New York, Ulster Park, New York, Southeast Kentucky, Georgia again, Oregon once more, Beech Grove, Indiana, Franklin County, Ohio, Corpus Christi, Texas, Germantown, Maryland. We have Quebec from Canada, very nice. Bradstown, Kentucky. Let's see, Nova Scotia, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Arkansas, Alaska, Beech Grove, Indiana, Southwest Oklahoma, Afton, Michigan, Kansas, Middle Earth, I like that. Ridgeway, South Carolina, Texas. Somebody's saying China. If that's true, that's very cool. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the Adirondacks, Tilson, New York. Yes, I had to trim the beard because I had an incident with the wood stove where I singed it all the way up, so I had to cut it down. So, but thank you. Yeah, people are saying it looks better short, so I think I'll be keeping it short for a while. So, Southern Maryland, the Adirondacks. So, guys, again, there's a Turler, California. I probably said it wrong. New Mexico, Southeast Missouri. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge family, a huge network of people. It is amazing. It really, truly is. And again, if we network and work together, there's no stopping us. We can do anything that we want to do. And again, nobody could stop us. That's the important thing. It really is. I'm going to ask one last time here really quickly. We got 1,100 people still in the chat. We're at 1,200 on a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this up to 1,300 with the thumbs up before we jump off of here. If you have not shown support for the channel yet, I would ask you that you do that with a thumbs up, and thank you ahead of time for showing support. I appreciate it. Again, it really does help with the algorithm, so the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel, positive or negative, but obviously I would rather see positive, so I would ask you to throw a thumbs up for that reason as well. Also, again, I'd like to see a lot of thumbs up, so that's the third part, so I'd definitely like to see a lot there for that reason. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to do that, and thank you ahead of time for doing that as well. I want to thank my moderators who come in show after show after show, keep the chat clean. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, are awesome. So thank you very much for doing that. It's really, really appreciated. You know, you don't have to do it. It's a volunteer thing, and I really do appreciate it. So it's very, very cool. And again, I think it's important to keep the chat clean. I just, you know, I don't like nastiness. There's no reason for it. Okay. So again, also, I want to remind everybody, and I say this at the end of all my videos, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. If we could focus on that and not focus on the stupid, petty nonsense that goes on constantly, I think we would be in a much better place and a much better world. And what we could accomplish if we work together is amazing. Okay. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Also, remember, guys, STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from reaching those goals is you, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine, okay? I think that's hugely important. So we're still at 1.2 on these thumbs up, guys. Can we get this up to 1.3 before we jump off of here? Thank you, everybody, for being here. Like I said, to me, this is a big family. I love these get-togethers. It's very enjoyable for me. Sharing information, I think that it's absolutely awesome. How will you know when to pump the gray water? Great question. It is going to be on a timer. There's a timer afloat in there, and once it hits that float, that's when it's going to need to be pumped out. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that type of stuff. And yes, I see we hit 1.3 in the thumbs up, so that's awesome. Great stream tonight, guys. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I will see you all. You're going to see tomorrow. Remember the videos. You're going to see 2 videos tomorrow. The bug out location that I was at. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your feedback on it. It's really, really cool what they got going down there. Really enjoyable. Again, I had a great time being away for a couple days. It was a lot of fun. And Eric was absolutely awesome, and so was his son Cody. And we just had a blast. We just absolutely had a blast. So also, got a lot of stuff that I want to get done here. So this gray water system is going to be getting finished up. You'll see that going forward. I think they're going to be back tomorrow as well, so I'll get some more video of that. And you're going to just see more progress getting done. The greenhouse is going to be getting worked on very, very soon. The weather's turning to crap, so it's going to be greenhouse time, okay? So I will see you guys all later. I hope everybody has a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.